everyone and welcome back to my channel. I must admit I'm in a little bit of a filming slump right now. I feel very uninspired, so I was struggling a little bit with what to upload today. I think I came up with a good idea, but if you have recommendations or wishes of what you want to see, definitely let me know down below. I do have a couple of things written down already from things that were previously proposed, and I will get around to doing them. I just don't want to do too many recommendation videos in a row because I feel like that gets kind of boring and kind of repetitive. So if you have any other videos you're really enjoying watching right now and that you want to see me do, definitely let me know. Some tags or anything like that. I would love to hear about that. But enough of this rambling. Today I want to talk to you about my series progress so far this year. So we are a tiny little bit more than halfway through the year, and I think I can tell you about the series I am reading right now, which ones I have started, continued in, finished, read completely this year, or DNF'd. Now, to no one's surprise, hopefully, because that's the one thing I want my channel to stand for, the series I have read completely this year is the biggest amount. So I'm very proud of that because I am very bad at continuing series when I don't read them all at once. So let's get into those numbers and series. So for series I have started this year, we are talking about 3 series, and with each of these I have so far finished the first book, or I'm currently reading the first book. So the first one is the Miss Fisher series. This is a series of mystery novels that are set in the 1920s, and they're following a woman called Miss Fisher, as she is a hobby sleuth who is trying to solve crimes. And I love the TV show for that, so I wanted to read the books for the longest time, and I successfully started the series this year by reading book 1. Next, we have the Dark Lord Davy series. This is a series that is not yet complete, so I couldn't go directly into the second book, even though I would very much like to. I just recently read book 1 and I really enjoyed it. This is going to be a duology, so hopefully next year I can finish that one off. And last but not least, the one I am currently reading. I'm not quite halfway into the first book, and this is a series that I want to have finished by the end of the year for sure, and that is the Chorus of Dragons series. I just started reading The Ruin of Kings, and we'll see how that one goes because it's very big, very dense books, but by the end of the year this one needs to be finished. So the next one is the category of series I have continued in. Is that correct? I don't know. And I have 2 series for that. The first one being the bigger series basically. So I want to finish the trilogy I'm currently reading in that bigger world this year, but it is the Realm of the Elderlings. I'm currently reading through the Life Ship Traders series. I am currently listening to the 3rd book in that trilogy, so by the end of the year I will probably count the Life Ship Traders trilogy as one of my finished series, but I think for this update it is more appropriate to say that I have continued on in the Realm of the Elderlings, which is a huge world, so this will probably take me a couple of years to read all the individual series in, but I'm completely fine with that, and so far the second trilogy is going really well. And then we have the Fallen Gods trilogy. I have read Sunbringer, which is the 2nd book in the series, and so far the last book is not out, so I cannot finish this series right now, but I hope to do so as soon as the final book comes out. By that point I definitely want to reread all of it to get the full impact. This time around I only reread the last, 50 pages of the first book to kind of get back into where things are to read the second book, but yeah, I'm very excited to come to the end of the series as soon as the final book comes out. Now we talk about the series I have finished. So I had previously started the series but read the final book this year, and with that I have 3 series. Now one of those is a little bit cheating, I guess, so you could also say it's one of the continued ones, but we'll get into that in a second. So actually 2 of those if I look at that. Okay, first of all, we have These Violent Delights duology. Now this is also set in a bigger world, and I definitely do want to read the other installments in that world, but for the characters we follow in this duology, I have finished that for now, and I'm not quite sure when I will continue on with the rest of this world. The other one is The Undertakers. Again, this is a duology, but there will be at some point more books in the world. So I'm counting this as finished because I'm not quite sure when and if I will get to these other books. But this is again a mystery series, so yeah, I'm not quite sure, but for now I count it as finished. And last but not least, we have the Cole Saga. This is a historical fiction series that I have been reading for many years, and I finally read the last book in that series, so this is a check that just feels very good to me personally. Now we're talking about the series that I have read completely this year, which is, as I said, something that I want my channel to stand for. Now with some of these, or at least one of these, there could be more in the series. For now I count it as read completely because I haven't heard an announcement that there will be more books in that world, but this might change. But let's start from the beginning. The first series I read completely this year was the Letters of Enchantment duology. Really enjoyed that one, and yeah, it was just a good feeling to start off the year by reading a whole duology. Then we have the Southern Reach trilogy. This was one of the series I wanted to read this year. I have a list of 5, and this was the first one I did. I have a complete reading vlog for this series if you're interested, and this is kind of like a sci-fi, horror, weird fiction kind of trilogy. I really liked it. Next up, we have the Winnowing Flame trilogy. I read this one because of a read-along that is hosted by Cleo at the channel Bemused Bookworm. I will link the readathon announcement, read-along announcement down below. There is a lot of other books to read for the rest of the year, but one part of this was the Winnowing Flame trilogy. I really loved it. The reading vlog will come up next, so my next video will be the vlog for this series. If you want to hear me talk about that in depth, definitely subscribe. Then the one where there might be more books in the future, but right now I don't think we know about that, is the What Moves the Dead books, because yeah, we have What Moves the Dead and What Feasts at Night, and maybe there will be more, but for now I count this as finished. Maybe you've heard more about that, then definitely let me know in the comments. I would not be mad about having more books about these characters. And last but not least, we have the Radiant Emperor duology. This was also one of the 5 series I wanted to read this year. So again, there is a whole reading vlog for this series if you want to check it out. It's basically a gush fest because I love this duology so freaking much. It was so good, and if you want to read any of these, I would recommend reading this one. It's just a duology and it's just so good. And last but not least, we have one series to talk about that I immediately DNF'd after the first book. I actually returned the first book because I was so mad about it. And that would be the Daisy Dalrymple series. Again, this is a 1920s inspired mystery series. Unfortunately, this one did not age well. All of the colonialist comments in this book were absolutely racist and disgusting, and I could never continue on with this series, even though it probably gets better at some point. But yeah, this was a hard no for me, and I will have a reading vlog about reading these 1920s mysteries as soon as I have read the 3rd book that I'm planning to read for that vlog. So this will probably be out in the early fall. We'll see about that. this would be my series of progress so far this year. I'm very, very proud of it. I mean, I started 3 series, but one of those I still plan to finish this year. I continued in 2 series, and again, with one of those, I at least want to finish that trilogy by the end of this year. I finished 3 series that I was reading for quite some time, and I completely read 5 series. So I think I'm doing really well. Let me know how you're doing and whether you think that I'm successful or whether you think I could do even better. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Leave a like, that always is so nice to see, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!